Alright everybody, let's jump straight into our next game. A best of 3 series here in Division 7 of Heroes Lounge.gg. So we're once again looking at the bottom division. Average level of play in the division is roughly bronze to gold. There's of course a few exceptions, especially if you look over towards the top teams within Division 7. But generally speaking, that's the level of play that you can expect here. On the left side we got Unleashed, we have Ice Corp on Reyna, Somber Evil on Garrosh, Gregor on Hanzo, and Black Lotus on Rega with Areku on Leoric. Over on the right side of the map, it is Just Cause with Norak on Johanna, Earl Grey on Arthas, Düsteries on Deckard Cain, T Forever on Liming, and Chapstar on Vala. Yeah, and our dear Vala already going into an Arrow build. Arrow and multi-shot build, pretty much the only two builds that are currently viable in the meta, and also the only two builds that have been viable for a long time now. Which brings us to the reason why Vala actually chose the build on this map in particular. And the reason is that she wants to try and get not only the mercenary camps, but also open up a strategic option of later on in the game quickly grabbing those bosses once they spawn after the 5-minute mark. If you go for a Monster Hunter setup, you have the repeating arrow on level 7 and a couple of stacks to your level 4 quest. You can get a lot of value out of this. So that's pretty much what we're going to expect from Vala, trying to make those plays with the rest of the team here. And talking about our Red Riding Hood, she's currently at the bottom of the map, going up against Ice Corp, who went into Exterminator, which from a talent's perspective, I mean from the idea behind the talent, pretty much wants to do the same thing, right? So he takes this also because it is a great talent to have these days, even with all of the slows that could be provided by Leo and Rega. But he wants to make sure that they can go for the boss as well. Oh, that blink could actually hurt her. Blinks over, tries to get away, and T Forever goes down. First blood achieved as the blue team locks this in. Also, this is a bit of a problem. I mean, Chapstar is the one who can definitely go for the camps here. The problem is that the tribute is actually spawning topside, the first one. So you don't want to take the siege giants if the tribute spawns on the other side of the map. What this is actually going to do, or at least you don't want to take them. You can take them down, but you shouldn't cap the camp. So what's going to happen now is the siege giants are moving down to the bottom of the map, and since they were taken way too soon, it will allow the blue team to easily defend the siege giants without having to invest any resources onto the bottom of the map when the objective is up. So that's actually a huge problem. Whereas topside, once this spawns, there's not going to be any issue for that. For the blue team, it doesn't make a difference when exactly they're capping them, so they actually make the right move here by capping it early and then focusing onto their own night camp shortly after that. So they are having the proper rotation. But as you can tell, Somber Evil can now move in, throw siege giants over, get a little bit of help, defend against those, and then they won't have any problems at the bottom of the map when the objective is being fought over. So that's already a slight oversight for the red team, which they should definitely fix for the next time they're playing on Cursed Hollow. Just a couple of these things that you need to watch out for, and they can have a big impact, because if those siege giants go uncontested during the first objective phase, they can do a lot of work and maybe take the entire wall down or even more. So that's a situation that you want to be in. Now the first tribute is already spawning, topside is pushing a little bit, but just look at what's happening here in the middle now as well. Blue team is doing way better on this. So they took their siege giants first, which they can because it's the same lane as the tribute lane, but now they take those a little bit later. And that allows them to push this out quite easily, and then this camp is going to push towards the red team's wall. So that's actually kind of neat here. Topside, the fighters now started up slowly. We have currently a single kill on the map. Vala already trying to go in. Good flip, and Chapstar goes down. Great kill by Unleashed. They get a second kill on the board for themselves. A fantastic start into this first one. So need to be a bit careful here. Liming is obviously looking for resets. Norak is in trouble on the other hand. Is already moving out. They're trying to get the counter kill. Hanzo jumping out just barely, but the fight isn't over. And Johanna is also eliminated. That's 2 kills in this fight for them. So these are trying to get out of here too. But they still haven't gotten the channel. And T Forever still has a little bit of mana left to his name that he can use here. Mid lane, by the way, as predicted, is putting heavy pressure onto the wall. So that's an issue. Leo goes down up in the top. And that allows for the reset on T Forever. And Vala is back to business. Yeah, their timers are low this early in the game. Gets a few stacks together. There's the level 7 for the opponent. So that's already a nice start. But keep in mind that the mid lane is consistently losing hit points on the wall. So that's a good setup for Unleashed for sure. Here comes the fight. There's the flip. Vala in trouble. And she goes down. Nicely done by the blue team. Another kill against her. They're looking for Deckard Cain kill after they take Arthas down. The old man able to walk away though, but Jojo is moving in a little bit too aggressive here. Gets flipped in and gets taken down as well. Yeah, nicely done. Unleashed able to win this one easily. And as we have the channel coming in, let's take another quick look at exactly that kill. So yeah, Jojo is moving in that situation and is of course trying to make a bit of a play. Doesn't quite work out for her, and in this case, she easily gets taken down here. As predicted though, in the middle of the map, as you can see, we have the entire wall taken down by the mercenary camp. So that was the value that they got there very easily with this. 6 kills against 1, give a mad lead over to the team in blue. And Icegorp is actually waiting for the Siege Giants to spawn. That's actually pretty well done by him too. Can put the pressure onto the top lane with those. And then they could even theoretically make a play for one of the bigger mercenaries, aka the bosses, since those just now have spawned at the 5-minute mark. But with that said, it's level 7 versus level 7 in talents. There's still, of course, an advantage in experience for the blue team that they could try and capitalize on. Only 2 stacks for Vala, by the way, whereas Arthas is able to get a few additional ones in on his level 1. Went, by the way, into a Death Coil build here on level 4 and level 7. So, let's see how this is going to pan out. Over here in the middle, that could be a problem. Jimmy! He gets away. Close call for him, though. Able to make it out, but yeah, that could have gotten nasty. And down to the bottom of the map, it seems like we are... No, we're not going to go for the boss just yet. It's a tribute on the map, and they want to fight for this one first. With level 7, or only on the hands of Just Cause in talents. If that is one interrupt, they're going to get it. Blue team is going to get it. They're nearly on level 10. Oh, they missed the interrupt! Nah, just as the heroic comes in. That's a bit of a missed opportunity, honestly. Unleashed should have locked in one. Yeah, there's the arrow. Good setup. The flip. And the old man gets attacked. The Entomb comes through. What a setup here. And that's 2 easy kills for them. Nicely done. Boss gets taken, but let's take another look at this. I mean, honestly, that was a beautiful setup. Just look at this. As they're taking the boss topside now, the Entomb locks both of them in. And Nora goes down here as well. That's 2 kills. And it's a free boss that they can obviously take now. Completely uncontested. So really well played by the blue team. They can now put pressure onto the top lane. They even try to steal those Siege Giants away from their opponent. And that's just a beautiful setup right now for Unleashed as they are taking mad control of the map. Now, they lost the tribute, which is definitely a bit of a problem. I mean, again, is it going to really become an issue in the game? Probably not. But it's one of those missed opportunities that if you want to nitpick a little bit, they should have probably locked in for themselves here. But again, they walk away with 8 kills against 1. They have a lot of map control now. They are ahead. They have a Storm Talent advantage over their opponent. And this is actually like a really good situation for them right now. So as it stands, 13,000 damage for Hanzo. Interestingly enough, it's actually Arthas who has 13,000 damage as well. So he's the top damage dealer on the red team side, which shouldn't really be the case. Vala is sitting on 2,800 damage. She has less damage than the old man. I don't know what happened with her here, but this is definitely not her game. 2 deaths already, and the old man with the stick has a higher damage output than Vala with her bow and arrow. So that is a big problem. But now that the boss is taken over here, we have to move through the bottom of the map. The one issue for Unleashed is that they're not getting mad value out of it simply because it's early in the game and those bosses haven't scaled properly yet. So you can see at the top that that's the case because the fort hasn't even fallen yet. But now that we're also looking at a potential curse, that's a different story since the 3rd tribute for the blue team is now going to be contested in just a second. A little bit of a zone out with the Hyperion, so that's well done here too. And now everybody is already gathering around the tribute. But this is the level 10 versus level 10 fight. So there is all of a sudden a situation in which you could make an argument that for Just Case this is probably the best situation to win a fight here. They went into Syndragosa, by the way. Bloodlust has also been taken. Fight is already about to start up, and that's going to be a big one. Hits keep coming. Stay a while and listen, baby. Bit of a flip out. I don't even know why. Leo goes down before the fight even starts up for real. But here comes the Bloodlust as they're trying to push their way through to victory. A flip in. Oh, Somber Evil. Is he going to go down? Yes, they get the kill. That's a double kill for the red team. All of a sudden, they're back to business, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Syndragosa. Nice. Locked down by the dragon. Jimmy eliminated. That's 3 kills for Just Cause. And that's actually a tribute. honestly, that's their ticket back into the game. So they take the tribute. They have a chance now to steal a few of these camps away as well. And this is looking really, really solid for them. Given the circumstances, obviously. I mean, they're still behind in experience, and they will trail behind the extra talent that Unleashed is now locking in. But still, if they would have lost that fight, they would have not only been cursed, but they would have lost a lot more map control. So this is kind of the beginning of a potential comeback for the red team, which shouldn't be underestimated. Vala is now sitting on 6 stacks and is looking towards the camps again. She has now finally overtaken the old man with the stick on the damage output, but is still very, very low here. But of course, that will likely improve over time. Yeah, top side, Earl Grey is actually playing this a little bit slower at this point, but maybe not slow enough. There's the Entomb, there's the setup, they're flipping him over, and he's just like, I'm a survivor! And yeah, bro, I'm sorry, but you're on. That's a 5-man gank against him, and he just couldn't do anything about it anymore here. With the army, maybe. With Icebound Fortitude, maybe. With the build that he has, that was just a lost cause once that they were able to hit him. The best thing that you can do if you want to play it slow and you're not trying to push out the wave anyways is just sit on the mount. Best thing that you can honestly do there. But either way, we got another potential setup. Yeah, Nora goes in, tries to interrupt. Black Lotus, that's a curse. The red team is cursed. Blessed Shield to save Jojo. But let's see how much they can get here. Top 4, that's a given. Oh, kill here would go a long way. Vala is going a little bit deep. Maybe a little bit too deep. The arrow! Oh, that's an NA arrow right there. Arrow didn't do anything. Syndragosa comes in, though, slows this down a little bit. Counter aggression. Rega! The Bloodlust a little bit late. Jimmy is already dead, and Garrosh is on the run. This is actually a bit of a problem. Big problem, too. And that's another kill. Yeah, this is the start of the comeback here, for sure. Let's take another look at this. I mean, just look at that fight. Honestly, they got so much out of this. First of all, they're getting the kill, of course, against Garrosh, and then they follow up with a very, very nice kill after that as well. So yeah, nicely done, well played. We have 9 kills against 7 now, so the red team is really coming back into this. It's a little bit Monka-esque, to be honest with you, but it's kind of crazy that the blue team had an 8 kills to 1 lead, had 2 bosses that they took. Early game, again, didn't scale well, but then they lost the fight over the tribute. And even when they take the curse, they don't get farther ahead because they lose too many heroes in the process. So, big problem here for them now. Red team is heavily starting to claw their way back into this. And honestly, Red team has started to take a lead in experience. These guys haven't taken a structure down yet. They haven't taken down a single fort. They themselves lost all their forts already, but they're still ahead in experience, thanks to the underdog XP bonus. So at this point, we currently have everybody else starting to rush in as the boss is being contested over. Vala at this point has just said, you know what, guys, I'm not really doing any hero damage anyway, so just fuck it, I'm gonna play PvE from here on out. So she's sitting bot side, saying like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. You know, those minions and catapults, they don't really fight back, so I'm gonna go for that. I think I can win that battle. So with the 5 versus 4 top side loss, Just Cause is just simply looking at what's happening here. The boss is taken. We have 10 kills against 7. And the blue team, after being a little bit flabbergasted, is right now just putting their foot down and saying, like, boys, this isn't happening. This is not happening. We're gonna win this one. Yeah, here's, by the way, also now Frost Strike. It's a little bit of a weird one with Arthur's. It kind of feels like this build should be more impactful than it is. It would be such an easy fix for Blizzard. I mean, he's even committing now to Frostmourne feats for the 2nd stack on his level 16, but he only has 18 stacks here. And we have seen a pretty brawly game. Blizzard should honestly buff this level 1 talent by quite a bit. Even just 1 point on the damage wouldn't do that much, but it would already make it feel a little bit more impactful towards the late game than it currently is. I mean, Arthur's is top damage for them with 23,000, but it's mostly because he's been involved in every single fight, and because Vala is currently dropping the ball a little bit and running it down mid. So not really what you can compare to what we are seeing happening on Hanzo, for example. And towards the late game, the damage output that you get with this doesn't really reflect what you want to put onto the board if you are an offlaner that is specifically focused on damage output. Others are doing way more. Just imagine a Thrall in that situation, for example. So yeah, Not really best setup. Blizzard could definitely make a couple of tweaks to make this more impactful for him. Either way, in this game, Arthas has actually a pretty solid one. He has, of course, also the damage output thanks to his level 4 and level 7 talent that comes into play for them. And now that we are looking at pretty much even talents, keep in mind that... Oh, nice timing, by the way, for the 2 camps. So Siege Giants and the mid camp are now pushing in. But the important part is really that the win for the red team over here would go a long way for Just Cause to come back into this game and take another lead over the opponent, taking the structures down too, because it would make this a curse against the blue team. So this is really, this is for all the marbles pretty much already. If they win this one, they have a huge chance of making their way back into the game, starting to build up some momentum, take some structures down. But can they do that? That's the question. Jojo and Arthas are trying. Arthas trying to guard the flank. Jojo is attempting to stop them from moving in here up at the side. And time is working in the blue team's favor. Let's not forget about this. They still have catapult pressure on all 3 lanes. Granted, only through every 3rd catapult. But, yep, top side and middle. That's where we now have the quick move with this locking in. So far, so good. Alright. Yeah, they're letting this one slide. Blue team gets it. They need to defend. Can't really afford to lose anything on the keeps here. So yeah, Chapstar, Earl Grey are already sitting tight. Düsterise is also currently in this little setup. His level 20 would help them for sure. Yeah, here comes the quick attack. And, well, let's see what else we're gonna get. These Hyperion aggressions all over the wall. Whittle the wall down. I mean, it's gonna become important once the boss is up. That's another 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So if you can destroy the wall already previously before the boss is taken, and then you have the option later on to grab that, you will give yourself a very nice attack through the bot lane that will very likely result in a keep taken down. Okay, so with the same time now, we have currently level 18.5. There's another tribute up, so same rules for the red team. If they're able to win this one, they curse the opponent. You still can try and take the camp over here. But situation is, of course, evolving slowly. This might be the last fight for the red team where they can fight on even talents before the storm talents hit. So it's one of those now or never situations for them. Just Cause has to push into this, though. Position has already been taken by Unleashed. Might not be the easiest one. Yeah, the channel is happening. Flashlight can be used for the interrupt. That's already the case. Here comes the old man with the seal. But they're trying to make the play for Garrosh. But Leo is already rotating in. And a nice flip. There's the Bloodlust. That's the kill. Syndragosa comes in. Everybody is pressing their R button and hammering them out. Leo is already dead, though. And that Entomb locks Earl Grey down. Can't go through that wall. Here's the kill. Somber Evil is also about to go down. Or is he? Yeah, he is. There's the Calamity kill. And Li Ming with a place! Li Ming making the big boy plays here, trying to come in for another kill. And she actually gets it! Oh my god, the only survivor is Hanzo, who's trying to take the old man down. But what a fight here. Li Ming losing 1 or 2, has the Calamity back up. Auto attacks, baby. It's all about the auto attacks. Oh my god. Not gegen Elend. Alright, let's take another quick look at the initial Li Ming play. The initial 2 kills that she got. So first one, moving in here, getting the kill against Garrosh. And then, of course, trying to follow it up with another one. Well played. But yeah, at the same time now that the blue team is cursed, I mean, they lost 4 heroes in the process. We're looking at 12 kills to 13. Both teams are closing in on level 20. In the middle of the map, we finally have a fort about to fall for the blue team. So that was kind of... I mean, honestly, that was a long way coming, because if you think about it, Just Cause has been taking kills all over the place now, but they still struggle to take a structure. Now they have destroyed the first fort. The one at the bottom is taking some damage to those minion waves as well, but the main aggression is focusing towards the top of the map now, where they're trying to come in from this one as well. But yeah, on we go. Damage outputs by now 39,000 for Li Ming. Vala is still struggling to put these numbers onto the board. It's Hanzo that takes the top spot in the game, though, with his 57k that he currently locks in. 5 deaths on Jojo. And now bosses are up, and this is actually where the red team is moving in first. They're trying to secure this one. Level 20 talents are ready for both teams now. Arthas hasn't taken... Yeah, here we go! The absolute 0! Nice! I was actually questioning if he would go for it, but I like that. 11 stacks for Vala. Right's the money pick, Right's in style, but the damage output is not quite there yet. So one boss is already taken. Problem is they're trying to take the one at the bottom here now too, but the issue is that the red team is already moving in, and they're starting to panic a little bit. Garrosh is buying them time though, and that should just result in a boss grabbed. Did she just jump out? Hunter just jumped out with play of the game out of the boss spot. That's not quite what he wanted to do here. That top needs to be defended now though. Right, so that one gets taken out. Everybody down here, how do they react? They're a little bit torn apparently between going for the top and trying to defend the bottom of the map. So the decision has been made to defend against the boss. Their keep is of course threatened since the wall has already been taken out earlier. So that's the thing. Off we go. Boss is about to go down. And so far so good. That's a long game actually. We're 20 minutes in already. And we haven't seen a keep fall yet. So that's definitely a part of this. Push through the bottom of the map is currently happening right in front of our eyes, but it's not even going to take a tower down. Stuns Arthur's though, so that happened. But camps are now taken all over the place again, as the teams are looking for another opportunity to fight this one out. Heroic abilities are pretty much all up, with the exception of Hanzo. In another 10 seconds, he's going to have his arrow back too. 67 stacks for Leo on his level 16 on the Mithril. And Vala can now get those auto attacks in from a safer distance after she went into the Farfly Quiver. Things will be interesting with this one. Okay, so comes the next quick hit into the middle, taking this one down, easy peasy. And at the bottom of the map, Siege Giants are still there. It's a trap! And only the tank is moving in. Alright, that's not really a big problem. Yeah, you're allowed to face check a little bit if you're Johanna. I mean, you have the tools, of course, to double check the bush before you run into it. But, yeah. Okay. What else are we going to get from this one? At this point, what do we have? Down here, a little bit of poke and prodding happening. Next tribute spawning soon, TM. Siege Giants are about to be taken out. Jimmy with the penetrating round is finishing the job. 13 against 12, and let's go. Fight is starting up. There's the combo, the kill. The absolute zero. The absolute disaster here. Nice. Good setup, and they're pushing them back easily. The red team, they were so far behind. They were 2 levels behind. They were 7 kills behind, and now they're starting to really take this game. Take a look at that double kill that we just saw there to kick all of this off. I mean, Sub-Zero comes in. First of all, we have the damage coming out from Li Ming. And then, yep, Sub-Zero, another combo. Bloodlust is out. And that was just really, really well done. That kicked off the team fight, made it a 5 versus 3 situation that led to an easy tribute. And this gives more and more momentum and control into the hands of Just Cause, as they're really just chasing across the map. They're going to steal this one away as well. And, yeah, fantastic setup. Yeah, Absolute Zero getting some value here. Arthas is able to just completely lock them down in that small corridor. It was beautifully lined up, and honestly it was a bit surprising that they couldn't get more kills with it, considering that there was a chance for them to just chase them down a little bit more. No play for keep though, so they're a bit hesitant to make a keep play at this point. And, well, down to the bottom of the map. It's a little bit pushing in. I really feel they could have maybe done a little bit more, but it seems like they're going to try and get another camp over here. They also need to defend against this. With a double catapult pressure 22 minutes into the game, as you can imagine, this is going to start hurting quite a bit. So, yeah, you got to be careful with that. Okay, so as all of this is now starting to come through, we have the attack over here into the middle. Another tribute is spawning. It's not really a crucial one for either one of the teams here. As you can see, we are looking at a 1-1 situation, so nobody is going to get cursed here anytime soon. But with bosses now being up in another 50 seconds, whoever wins this fight has full boss control too, and that's a problem. Bloodlust, Garrosh in trouble again, and Absolute Zero. Absolutely beautiful. The Hyperion, on the other hand, was also spectacular in that small corridor. That choke point became a disaster for both teams, but it seems like there's way more heroes dying on the blue team side. They're getting chased down as we speak. 3 already dead. Boss is up. What's the red team deciding to do now? It's a 3 versus 2 situation on the map. Leo's, of course, going to be back soon. They can take the tribute. Keep in mind, boss will be up in just a couple of seconds. But what's the decision? They also need to defend the bot lane a little bit. As I said, 23, 24 minutes into the game, those catapults, they really hurt. And that's something where you have to be super careful that you don't simply overdo it. So, yep, don't let those catapults move in here. I feel like the catapult pressure that we see from Unleashed is what kept them in the game for this long. There's a little bit of indecisiveness from the red team, of course, that comes with it. But still, those catapults always pressuring the lanes. Calamity against the mercenary camp, okay. 57,000 damage for Li Ming at this point. 76,000 damage for Hanzo. And yeah, Arthas is still looking good. 41,000 is not too bad. Again, Vala's now obviously catching up. But they're going for the boss at the top side, and this is where Vala, of course, excels with her Monster Hunter. It's a little bit sad that even 24 minutes into the game, she hasn't completed her level 4 quest talent yet. That would, of course, rip this boss apart even quicker. But now that the boss topside has been taken, the red team is rotating to the bottom of the map again. And I don't think they have the time here. They definitely don't. This is a huge problem. The blue team needed to be way more decisive. And they can't let this tribute go either. So this is very likely going to be a top keep that gets destroyed in the process here. Early Bloodlust already being used. Here's Hyperion. Absolute Zero comes in, locks them down, and Arthas and the rest of the team are taking, with the help of Vala, Garrosh down to kick this team fight off. Yeah, that's another one. That's 2. That's 3. They're gonna try for Rega as well. Li Ming playing a beautiful game here. Top keep is nearly gone. This has to simply be game. Li Ming comes in again. T Forever is honestly just beasting it here. It's gonna have the cooldown back in just another second. There's a curse. That's a 5-man team wipe, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know why they're attacking this. I mean, boys, let's just go for core here. Everybody is down, and they lock it in. What a comeback, seriously. Beautiful comeback here by the team on the right side of the map. Just Cause able to make it work. The late game was theirs. Very nicely done by them. And they take the lead in the best of 3 series of Division 7. Very nicely played. GG as Just Cause locks in the victory on map number 1. Time for the showdown! Game number 3, Tomb of the Spider Queen in this Division 7 series. On the left side, Unleashed with Ice Co-op on Suljin. They want Axe, they get Axe. Somber Evil on Imperius. We have Grego on Li Ming, Black Lotus on Anduin, and Areku on Diablo. T Forever, this time on Lulnara. We got Earl Grey on Arthas, Norak on ETC, Chapstar on Tacita, and Düsterize on Lucio. So he went from the old man that has to support himself with a stick to Lucio, who just zips around on the map the entire time. We got also our Arthas play back to business with pretty much the same starting build, at least on level 1, as we've seen on the first map, and they did pretty well. But yeah, I kind of want to see where this is leading, because it's kind of funny to see Suljin in the game. I feel in Division 7, Suljin could now be a little bit more powerful. It was honestly really weird to me that even in Meta Madness, where you had a lot of heroes banned out, I mean, on 5th map we have 56 heroes banned, which led to some absolutely insane compositions. But even there, Suljin was not really represented a lot. I think we've seen him once in that series, in the entire tournament, if at all. And it was a little bit strange, because I honestly expected that with the new tower aggro and the fort aggro, the games, now that they last a little bit longer, would lean more to a hero like Suljin to be played a little bit more, since of course his stacking on the baseline is one of the most important things to make it work in the late game. I mean, it's one of the reasons why he is the best ARAM hero, the best Brawl hero, because you can so easily stack in these 5 versus 5 situations throughout the game. Talking about stacking, by the way, as well. Down here at the bottom, they're stacking damage, apparently. Yeah, those two will have an interesting game. It's kind of weird that Arthas isn't down here. Normally you would expect him to be part of this, and Lunara be part of the rotation instead, but not quite. Down to the bottom of the map now, still this setup, with Arthas apparently starting to take over for her. Okay. Suljin has only a single stack so far on the baseline. He really needs a lot more auto attacks if they want to make him work in this case. It depends a little bit on how long the map lasts, right? I mean, if it's a long game, Suljin should reign supreme. But in the early game, his job is pretty much just to stack, 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 stack. Work those auto attacks in. And with work those auto attacks in, I don't mean work them in against the minions. That's not really your job description. At the top, there's the fight now starting to pop up slowly. Reku. Nice. Gets body blocked. But Anduin is there for him. And immediately brings him back. So, yeah, nicely done. Okay, so Somber Evil just missing the lunge. If he actually hits that one, that could result in a kill. With the second hero coming in, that would have been an opportunity. Suljin is at 5 stacks now. 2 minutes into the game, we have the level 4 talents ready. Not really a lot of turn in. Actually, we have not a single gem turned in. Teams haven't focused on that at all yet. Li Ming this time on the other side has been played twice by T forever. This time he doesn't get his Li Ming. So it's Lunara instead. I mean, they have a fair amount of damage output. If you stack that Q properly with Tassadar, you're going to get a lot of it. A lot of damage there. Talk about damage. They're trying to go for the cap at the bottom. Arthas, on the other hand, is in trouble, and he goes down first. And he wins a 2v1. I mean, one of them is, of course, a support, but hey, still. So they get the kill and they get the cam. What more do you want? Stacks for Suljin. Newsflash, they got those too. So that was a very, very successful battle for Unleashed. They pretty much walked away with every single advantage they could hope for, and also enough time and space to go for a turn-in. So they have 12 gems already turned in, and Grego looks like he's gonna be able to, yes, place his 12 gems as well. Well done! It's a bit of an early game lead for Unleashed. Now, initially, of course, they took the big lead in game number 1, but then it was an insane comeback of Just Cause. But when it came to the second map, Unleashed definitely showed their skills and kind of crushed the opponent with a couple of beautiful combos that we went over a few times. So now that we're on the third map, Just Cause, they definitely have to start to turn up the heat a little bit, or they're going to be in trouble. A bit too aggressive here by Diablo, but it didn't really cost him too much. He jumped into 2 towers, but they didn't really do enough damage to seriously threaten him or anything. But what's seriously being threatened is the first objective. 6 turned in, another 2. That's 2 gems missing, and Somber Evil should be able to deliver those. Unless Earl Grey can interrupt it, and that's not the case. So, yep, there's the first turn in. First Web Weavers for the blue team. Big opportunity now to gain some momentum. And the red team, they didn't turn in a single gem yet, so they hold 32 on Norak alone. If he falls and they can't recover the gems, that would be a bit of a disaster. Suljin also not going for that standard ARAM build where you go for Headhunter on level 1, Bone Slicer instead with the Grievous Throw and the Vicious Assault on level 7, which means that we also don't have any stacking on his Arcanite axis here. Imperius goes down, and that's a bad time to die. Just as your team comes in with the first objective, now you have a 4 versus 5 situation. Is a pretty bad way to start the first objective off. So let's see how much they can actually push with this. Should be a bit tricky to make the proper play happen here. So they're starting to make their way in. We're currently looking at the bot lane, which gets pretty easily defended here. ETC's in the middle, Ulnara's up at the top. Tassadar is the one trying to get most of the damage out. But to be fair, blue team is actually still getting a little bit of it. I mean, this entire wall falls in the middle, and up at the top, this one is pretty much down as well. So that's 2 walls eliminated. The third one at the bottom of the map is also down. That's not too bad. Given that they lost a hero just as the Web Weavers touched ground, that's actually a pretty good outcome. Obviously, in an ideal world, you want to walk away with the first fault being eliminated with the first turn-in, but that doesn't really happen all that much. Usually it happens when you get a kill with it. But that was pretty solid. They didn't lose the hero there either, so that means that, yeah, I mean, I'm actually a bit impressed. Didn't expect them to get this much out of it. But okay, still more or less even experience, an extra kill, and the defense has now also led to a slight advantage in experience for Just Cause. That obviously only helps them if they can turn their gems in. And this is something that the blue team is contesting. So it's not happening just yet. And the stacks are coming. Tassadar is sitting at 40. Suljin at 8. Definitely nothing crazy yet, nothing to write home about. We have Suljin with another 7 missing until he gets his range increase as the first quest reward, so that would already go a long way to help him out with those extra auto attacks. Talking about the extra attacks, the red team is really trying to establish control on one of the turn-in points so that they can get the first Web Weavers for themselves. If they lose the gems, that would be a disaster, but they're also going to be the ones to hit level 10 first. And that's a lead that they need now. That's an advantage that would really go a long way for them. So we're gonna see if that works out. But yep. Okay, Somber Evil. He's the one at the bottom of the map looking for experience right now. Level 10. That's a little bit awkward because they're gonna hit level 10 and they're gonna be out of position to make a play. So if you hit level 10 here, you wanna be on the point already so you can turn in. And if you can't turn in because your opponent is trying to interrupt you, then you at least are in a spot where you can force a fight with level 10 abilities. Instead, they are actually waiting quite a bit. And the blue team, I kind of feel that the blue team could have tried to stall this out a little bit. Just a little bit. Get a couple of interrupts. I mean, again, I feel like there were opportunities for both teams to play this a little bit better. If the blue team just uses some of their range abilities to stall this out, they might be able to force a 10 versus 10 fight around it. So now there's a big chance with Syndragosa in particular to push through the middle. Nicely done. Oh, ETC is down though. That's a big setback. ETC is dead. Arthas is dead too. Oh my god, blue team absolutely crushing here in the middle all of a sudden. Trying to go in for another one, but T Forever is able to make it out. We still need to defend against the Web Weavers. The objective is, of course, pushing completely unimpressed of what's happening around those spiders. But they take the Web Weaver down in the middle at the bottom of the map. We got Imperius here. He's going to try and make his play. But yeah, those were two important kills. Just at the right moment in time. Up towards the top, Grego is doing his thing now, trying to take the Web Weaver down as well. They're gonna lose walls, they're gonna lose towers, not really too much. Yeah, talking walls. Tazada comes in with one. A bit of an awkward setup here. Liming also kind of misplacing her ult a bit as she's trying to create more space for herself. But Suljin is already bot lane, trying to get those siege giants. As top side is getting attacked, red team is pushing in with pretty much everything they got here. Trying to go for another turn in. They don't have enough gems to lock it in completely. The blue team, on the other hand, they hold enough. More than enough, actually. Yeah, they have an easy second turn in if they can make that work. Somber Evil, yeah, kind of decides that this is a bad time to go for that. He's just like, yeah, not against this many people. Areko, on the other hand, oh, gets interrupted. Nice, that was important. 31 gems, that would have been a big chunk. Yeah, so he needs to move away from this. Sits at 100 souls, so he is completely stacked on his baseline. And talking about stacks, we've been talking a lot about Suljin. He's sitting at 11. Damage output for him rather low at this point. 14,000, nothing crazy yet. But that could change. Could change soon, TM. Mosh Pit gets interrupted. And, well, off we go. They're trying to make the play for Norak again. And ETC falls. Syndragosa a little bit late in this fight. They're slowing down Diablo for a bit longer. Lunara goes in, tries to get the kill. Can't quite secure it. Is able to hop out, but it's still a 5 versus 4 situation in favor of Unleashed, who have now also taken additional stacks for Suljin, of course. Situations like this one is where he really thrives, especially if the focus is on other heroes. That's a problem, though. That is Diablo! Oh, Diablo dead. They need those gems. Anduin frontlines in for just a second. Not a situation that he finds himself in very often. Ooh, Lunara jumping onto the blinking Liming. But here's our little setup as they're still trying to fight for that point. Both of the teams have now enough gems for a turn in. I gotta say, red team is fighting this out. They have 5 back up on the map. There's a 13 talent advantage for the red team, for the blue team. They're trying to get another kill with it. Force wall after force wall comes down here, but the turn in is about to come through. Yeah, that's 20, 23 on Black Lotus. Can he get it? Gets interrupted. Halfway through, he's gonna make it. Yeah, he's gonna get it. Tazada is down as well. Blue Web Weavers are coming down. They get the Tazada kill. They're going for the follow-up. Yeah, they take ETC down, and that is another kill right here. Nicely done. We can take another look at that double kill that we just saw there. Actually, that's the one that we were looking for. Yep. So they're coming in, trying to take the first one down. ETC falls. They follow up with another kill just after that. Web Weavers are now coming down too, as we're moving straight into the big push for the blue team. And they're trying to make the play. Down to the bottom of the map, talking about plays, we already have our little situation right here with another potential destruction of the fort as they're going in for it. Earl Grey and T Forever, the two that are trying to take the Web Weavers down, but that of course abandons the mid lane. And the mid lane gets crushed. Absolutely crushed here. So yeah, towards the top. Have a different story with 5-man rotation and nobody at the bottom of the map still making the play. This is going to be a second fort. Guys, this is a big lead now. 7 kills against 2. They're able to get 2 forts out of this little move here. Yeah, there's the Syndergosa at least coming in. Keep in mind, Mosh Pit gets interrupted. Ice Scorp doesn't have his ult. He has his ult up. He uses it and he's starting to chunk a couple of axes out. Damage over time might actually eliminate him here. Saves himself. Dibbles goes down. 17 stacks now on Suljin. Yeah, so he goes in a little bit deeper with that. 17 stacks for him. And on the damage output, that is 25,000. I mean, Lunara is the one that is leading the charts in the game itself. But for the blue team, that isn't too bad. Li Ming and Suljin both on roughly 25, 26k. So that's good for them. The turn-in for the red team, though. It's a cool series, honestly. I mean, starting with the massive comeback on game number 1, now we are in a setup where there's another chance for Just Cause to make a comeback and maybe even take a lead. They're not that far behind in experience. They have lost some structures, though. But I still can't believe that they didn't lose the top 4. I mean, that thing is so incredibly low. Look at the bottom of the map. It's a similar picture. It has a few more hit points, but of course still up for grabs. So now what's the stacks for Tassadar? He's sitting at 115. I mean, he's going to be a big deal later on too. And that's an Anduin kill. Anduin gets murdered. They're taking him down. And I don't really know how it happens, but it feels like a lot of these kills are coming in every single time that we have a Web Weaver hitting the ground. So, yep. Here comes the push topside. This one is gonna get... Yeah, they're letting this one go for free. They're instead trying to hold the middle, where they take the Web Weavers down, and down to the bottom of the map, Imperial is sitting there like, team, help, help! He needs a little bit. And at the top side, that's obviously where we now see the red team knock at the wall of the keep itself. Soldiers on 18 stacks. Again, they need to stack him a little bit more. It's honestly not even about him completing his quest and getting the double hits on the Arcanite axis or the axis in general. The problem still is that he didn't take his level 7 talents. There's no infinite stacking on this one either. It's more so important that he really gets a lot of auto attack damage in by simply getting more auto attacks connected, stacking that baseline. Talking about baseline stacks, we have Diablo nearly done now with his baseline as well. 87, so another 13 needed. And 15 stacks for Arthur's, yeah, 135 for Tassadar. And just talking about Tassadar, Tassadar is sitting at 29,000 damage. So this is obviously going to increase as the game continues and he's completing his stacks as well. It's pretty much the finisher in the setup that they have with Lunara. She can also provide the slows there for them. But Tassadar will play a big role if he can continue the stacking process here. Has only died once. The only heroes that haven't died yet are Suljin, Li Ming, and Lunara. That one to be taken. 51 gems for the blue team. None turned in yet, though. That's a Diablo kill, isn't it? He might actually be able to get it. No. Yeah, Apocalypse and Anduin with a save. Anduin with a big boy save here. Lucio comes through as well for the team. Ooh, Anduin! Trying to go for the play, but he gets eliminated. Diablo's down too. That's a Suljin kill right here, isn't it? Yep, and that looks bad. The fort goes down as well. Great setup here for the red team. Really good one. Oh, Li Ming gets the counter kill, but yeah, nothing else. And that was actually bad from Li Ming because it lost them a lot of gems. But let's take a look at this one again. Yeah, just look at that setup. Beautiful. First of all, they're getting, of course, the initial kills against Anduin, against Diablo. Then the Suljin kill comes in after that. So a really impactful battle for them. Not only does it kill in total 4 heroes, but it establishes a lot of momentum on the map for them. They're also able to grab themselves a fort. Now the bot lane is pushing. The siege giants have been taken there. They can make the rotation towards the top and take also a quick boss. This is a really bad momentum swing here. This is honestly where the game kind of turned a little bit, or tilted heavily towards them. In experience, it's not really all that noticeable just yet, but just eliminating all those heroes and deleting the gems from Unleashed is a big deal. That's what they just did there. I mean, they are down to 21 gems and 13, that's 35 roughly in total, so they lost roughly 20 gems or more in that last encounter. And that's big. Especially since now with the boss pushing topside, if the red team makes a move here, they should be able to destroy that keep. And that's exactly what they're aiming for. With it already being down to 50% HP, that's just not saving this one. You can't do all of this. So yeah. I mean, they're even committing to the ult again on Arthas. I don't even think that was needed, but they're going for it anyways, trying to get a kill. If they can get follow-up kills, theoretically, they could go for game. Already starting to push in. Reku is about to get Reku'd, and nope, oh, that slide at the right moment in time. But yeah, they won't be able to take the core here. Even with the kill against Diablo, it doesn't work out quite that well. Okay, so they're actually speeding back. They have taken the keep, that's important. They eliminated pretty much every single fort with the exception of the middle, which in theory they could try and take now. But again, you gotta be careful. Take the minions down first, push in with the wave, try and soak a little bit of damage through off the keep, through those minions, and then make the play there. They're also incredibly close to another turn-in. They only need another 5 gems, and then they will have another turn-in available. Yeah, trying to anchor that play a little bit. Wrapping around, it seems like they want to go for Imperius here. And Imperius, is it a mosh? It's a mosh. Mosh pit kill, good setup, nice gank. And he can't get away. It was close, but yeah, he's down. And it seems like Li Ming is also going to fall. Lulnara wants the damage. She doesn't quite get it. Here's ETC coming in again. And boy, that setup! Damage output against Anduin drops him too. And it seems like they're going to try and make... yeah, what play? Take the fort in the middle maybe. Turn in. Get the web weavers. You have 20. You got all the talents ready. Arthas has actually his ult up in another 10 seconds. Guys, that's an Arthas ult right there. Oh my god, and Sul'jin is dead too. 23 stacks for him. If they use Arthas ult at this point, they get to keep for free. 100%. I'm not even sure if they need to use it though. They have a minion wave pushing in together with it, and there's nobody there for the defense anymore. They commit to it anyways, trying to get in here. They want the kill against Diablo, it seems. Honestly, they should focus on the keep first. Catapults are already knocking on the top, and with the keep down, they're attempting to go for the core. Imperius is going to be back soon, TM. It's a little bit longer for Anduin and Sul'jin. I'm not sure if they can really take the core down. They could definitely nibble at it a little bit. But off we go. Damage output. Core is actually falling heavily. Catapults. That's 3 catapults on the core. Nobody deals with the catapults. The Winions. The Winions and Lulnara. This is game just cause with a victory in the best of 3 series against Unleash here in Division 7 of Heroes Lounge.gg.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.